Time for another wig review. So this is another unit from RPGSHOW. This unit is called Anthonycuts039. This one is a little bit different from what I typically get. So this cap is called the Maxi Part 10-6 Glueless Swiss Lace Closure Wig. This is 180% density. I typically get 200%, so I can tell that this is lighter, but it's not anything that disappoints me. I still feel like this is going to have a lot of volume and just feel very nice on my head, not too heavy. The hair texture is silky. It is 20 inches long. I love a long wig. The color on this is champagne blonde, and the lace is transparent Swiss lace, which they recommend for fair skin tones. The knots here, I don't think I had an option on this one whether I wanted deep bleach, but they look definitely like they've been deep bleached. You really can't hardly see anything there. Once again, like, this is something new they've been doing where these are velcroed in, which makes me happy because I don't need these, so I just take them right out and then they're not like rubbing against my scalp. All right, let's try her on. Okay, I don't recall having an option on whether I wanted a deep pluck hairline or just a regular plucked hairline. Anyway, it looks like it's probably a deep plucked, pre-plucked hairline, that is. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Sorry, guys. Which I'm okay with that. But since this is a 10-6, I can tell, like, this, you know, is part of the cap. It's not super easy to see unless I get you real close here, but typically if this was a 13-6, it would be all lace right here. That's not a huge deal breaker for me because I will say there is a price difference there. So if you want something maybe a little more budget friendly, like the 10-6 will save you some money and still look very realistic on. So I'm not majorly concerned by that. I don't wear my hair back a lot, or, you know, behind my ears or up, but I could probably make that a little less noticeable too, since these roots are dark with like a dark, like a brown powder, whether it's like intended for the hair, like your roots, you know, like if your roots are growing out, or even some like eyeshadow or some sort of makeup could probably make this just kind of disappear. So anyway, so I can definitely feel that it's not quite as dense with the 200% that I'm used to, but it still feels really good, and there's tons of volume here, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the champagne blonde. I've been really enjoying blonde lately. I wanted something that was like a little more warm compared to my last platinum unit, and I like this, I do. And I like how the roots are more like a brown. They're not super dark, so I like how it's like just blending and fading really well into that blonde to give kind of like that lived in blonde look. Okay, so I think it's time to cut the lace. So let's go. And if you'll notice, I'm kind of cutting like a little bit back and forth so I have a more jagged sort of edge on the lace. I don't want to do a very straight line because it'll actually be more noticeable. Your lace will be more noticeable with a straight line. So to make it look a little more natural and blend in a little more seamlessly, we're just kind of cutting back and forth, back and forth. One of the things that does make this cap construction different is that I don't have to cut all around above my ear to, like, I don't have to cut the lace above my ear, like it's already gone. So that can be the trickiest part because it'll, you know, it's like the cap will like sit over your ear and you have to cut that lace off. And since it comes short here, like there's nothing there to cut. So I don't have to worry about that over the ear lace. So that's a perk to this cap. And that does save me a little bit of time there. So this side you'll see hasn't been cut yet. So like the lace basically just ends right here. It's not going all around like the 13/6 cap construction would. See, done. That's a lot quicker. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and adhere these little bits down with my lace bond. Actually, this is technically, it's a lace melt spray. I'm just gonna put it where I need it. I do honestly prefer the more controlled application anyway versus just spraying it, because all the overspray could get like into my hair or something. Now I typically only do the sides as well. That lace lays down pretty flat on my forehead, so I don't really see any reason of putting this on the top there. Just gonna hold that in place while it dries. This won't take long at all. Okay, it's been about a minute. Like I said, this doesn't usually take too long, so let's take this off and see if we're about secured. Almost. Yeah. Okay, we're still drying just a touch, but I'm gonna touch up my makeup because you can see I kind of messed it up a little bit with all of that movement. I do prefer to get my makeup put down under the lace and not on top of the lace, because I feel like if I get makeup on the lace, it actually makes the lace stand out rather than blend in. So I just try to get it, like I said, under the lace or as close to it as possible without going over it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's lose the clips. Here's an up close of the hairline. Like I said, you can see that cap just a little bit through there. But I do think we can make that look better with some makeup. And there it is, just a little bit right there. Okay, I'm gonna tighten this. This comes with a little strap in the back that will help keep it tighter on my head, because I do feel like the urge to like pull this forward because I feel like it might be slipping back a little bit. So if we tighten it up, I can probably get rid of that slip. There's this drawstring in the back, which this is new to me as well. I've not had the drawstring since I'm not familiar with this cap construction. But yeah, I'm just pulling it, and that is tightening that up. Okay, now I'm just going to tuck it under. Okay, should be gone. All right. Yeah, that feels better. There she is. I do love to admire like the realistic hairline. Like wigs have come a long way since I was a child. Gorgeous. I'm just gonna let you see that length. I'm 5 foot tall, and like I said, this is 20 inches long. So overall thoughts, I obviously love it. Like the hair color, I feel like it's pretty true to the picture. I do enjoy the feel of the hair. The hair feels healthy. I do like the density. I like the convenience as well that the 10-6 cap provides. Like I said, the only downside is the fact that this is a little bit noticeable, but hang on. I'm gonna go in with, what am I gonna go in with? Let's go with this. Maybe darker. Okay. So yeah, I would say the only downside was this being exposed like that, but that seems to be a pretty manageable fix. So not a deal breaker for me. And for the savings that you get between this and the 13.6, just feel like it's worth it. I would probably, next wig I got, just make it a maxi part, 10.6. But this is awesome. I love this as usual. Now, new customers, if you are interested in this wig or any other wig from RPG Show, you can use code LMLACY to save $110 off orders of $450 or more. I do hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe it inspired you to try an RPG Show wig or just maybe a new cap or a new color, something. But anyway, thanks for watching.